Vexilla, vexilla, regis, regis, vexilla, regis, vexilla,
Hi everyone, I'm Enrico Lagasca. I sing bass and I am an alumnus of the Philippine Madrigal Singers. Greetings from northern Michigan, where I'm currently sheltering in place. I live in New York City, but I'm fortunate enough to be here while we all weather this pandemic. Thank you, Choir Fan Vlog, for having me. Thank you, Ian, for having me. And I'm both nervous and excited for this Tenong ko sa Idol ko questions, where I'm going to answer 10 questions. I'll try my best to do it. I saw one of my best friends do this last time. I guess that was the first installment of this segment, and he did very well. So I'm not sure. I'll try my best to answer all 10. So let's get started. Number 1. You know, it's actually hard to separate Enrico from being a chorister because I've always been a chorister, even before I started solo singing. And I guess let's just say when I'm off stage, when I'm not performing, I am a simple human being. I love the littlest things. I love traveling. I love cooking. I love reading, I love walking in the parks, I love the outdoors. Don't get me wrong, I'm not at all athletic, but I do love my little walks, my little bike rides, my little hikes. Did I say I love traveling? I do, so much. I love human connection, I love eating, I love all cuisines, and I love all, like, food. Cooking is also one of my passions, so yeah, so those are the normal things that I guess I do when I'm not performing. And I love my TV shows, I love movies, I love being with friends, hanging out a lot. I love hosting parties at home and preparing food and drinks and all that stuff. All of these I really miss right now. So yeah, so I guess that's me when I'm off stage, when I'm not performing. Okay, number 2. I was 13 years old. I was 13 years old, a freshman in San Beda High School. And walang biro, this is the story. I was actually singing Mariah Carey in the cafeteria and somebody approached me, hey, do you want to join the Glee Club? And I was like, sure, I have no idea what the Glee Club is. So not till like after classes when I found out that it's a choir, you know, it's a band of singers. And I sang the national anthem, I auditioned, and that's when it all started. And San Beda High School Glee Club was also the choir where I met Erwin Andaya for the first time. And he was my Kuya Weng then because he's already graduated and he's an alumnus of the group. So yeah, that's where it all started, Sir in Africa, and the 10 to 13 singers, I guess, then, and I was 13, 1999. All right, number 3. Well, right after the Mads, I joined Kiliawan Boys Choir under Sir Mark Carpio. And that's when and how I actually went to transition to becoming a member of the Mads. Here in the US, I have a lot of choral affiliations because there are a lot of professional choirs. So I do this for a living. I'm both a soloist and chorister. I'm a professional singer, and this is what puts food on my table. So there are a lot of fantastic professional choirs around the United States, and in New York City for the longest time I was with the choir St. Ignatius Loyola. We have a concert series and also a professional church choir, and then I moved to Trinity Wall Street with the Trinity Choir. Across the United States, oh my god, to name a few, I sing with the Santa Fe Desert Chorale in Santa Fe, New Mexico, Seraphic Fire in Miami, Florida, Conspirare in Austin, Texas, Skylark Vocal Ensemble up on the Cape in Massachusetts, Bach Collegium San Diego in California, Spire Chamber Ensemble in Kansas City, to name a few. So those are like just some of the professional choirs that I sing with in the US. And yeah, so I have a lot of choral affiliations. So after I joined the MADS, I'm very fortunate to be doing this as a living, and yeah, and being a chorister is just my bread and butter. All right, number 4. You know, the touring, the meeting other people, the places where we've been to. You know, who would have thought that I've already visited Moscow, Russia, and I don't know when that's gonna happen again. You know, and human connection. It's like meeting all your hosts and meeting your audiences, the other artists, all the other choirs in like festivals and competitions. I love those, and like I mentioned earlier, I love eating and love cuisine. That's how I discover and figure out culture through food, and I love it. I love all the home cooked meals in Italy, for example, or in Germany, or even in France, and you know, in Spain. Oh my god, all the paellas. Yeah, a lot of those. I just love touring. I love touring with a group. It's quite challenging and also just like the most fun experiences. And I was very lucky to be doing that for a while. That actually, my love for traveling and human connection, I'm very fortunate to also do now as a career. And I'm very thankful to be sort of continuing that momentum na talagang nagtutour pa rin ako, and I sing, and you know, and meet all these people that all I've learned when I was with the MADS. So yeah, isa yun sa mga hindi ko makakalimutan bilang member ng MADS. And to top all that, actually, to be honest, also is that I've met some of my closest friends with the MADS. And these people who I call like my best friends in the world. So yeah, I mean, that's one of the most important things and one of the most memorable and just like meaningful things that's ever happened to me being with the MADS. Okay, next question. Hindi lang dati, up to now, Jonathan Zions. He is based in Berlin. He's a bass-baritone, also an alumnus of the Madrigal Singers. You know, he's a fantastic artist. Just the artistry, the musicality, that warm, round sound, that singing. It's something to die for. You know, like I love him to death. I'm very glad to call him a friend and colleague now. But I look up to him in many ways. He's very well spoken. He's such a nice person, also very humble, and yeah, noon hanggang ngayon, I really look up to Jonathan Zions. If you don't know him, look him up. He's fantastic, and yeah, and he served as like one of my biggest inspirations in life and in my career. Okay, next. Oh my god, a lot. So I do mostly early music here in the US. The rhetoric of like text and music, and Bach, pre-Bach, the likes of Schütz, Buxtehude, Wickman, that like those years, the 30 Years War, French composers Rameau, Charpentier. So a lot of early music stuff I love, and of course all those being the foundation of like what music is now. It's just like, it just amazes me that people have written those melodies and like those orchestral choral works. Fast forward a little bit to like the Romantic era, I love Brahms and I love Mahler, Schubert and Schumann for like vocal music. Again, it's like a lot about the melody and the texts. Contemporary stuff, I am obsessed with Joby Talbot's Path of Miracles. If you have not heard about this, please do. The Choir Tenebrae has a good recording of it. Contemporary has a fantastic recording of it as well. I also love James Macmillan's Stabat Mater. Those are two of like the bigger works that I enjoy a lot. Paul Mueller from the UK is also one of my favorites. One of my favorites to listen to. Another good friend of mine is Jake Renestad. His music just like speaks very closely to the heart. And Filipino composers, I'm a huge fan, of course, of national artists for music. Mr. C, Ryan Cabiab, his masses both in the 80s and in the 2000s, premiered by UPCC and San Miguel Master Chorale, both of my favorites. Aba po Santa Maria Reina is one of my ultimate favorites, and I could go on and on with all his works. I love it. Alleluia kay San Juan de la Cruz is also one of my favorites. Aili Maniano is also one. Like, I'm quite obsessed with everything he writes. He's such a talented countertenor and, you know, composer, multimedia artist, and just all around nice person. I love his works, especially Ama Ni Amo. This like setting of Our Father in the Bicolano language is like one of like my favorite settings of an Our Father, and one of my favorite like compositions of his. And Nilo Alcala, of course, he's written some of like our competition pieces with the Mads, with Dayo Dayo Kupita, Kaisa Isanian, and he also writes fantastic for the voice and for solo voice. I have premiered some of his works in the Philippines and also here in the US. I also love Robin Estrada. Robin is based in San Francisco right now. He's written some of like the most fascinating and just like, you know, very in the like a broader spectrum of like sacred choral works, and I like him a lot. Sir Chino Toledo also is one of the, like, Sir Chino Toledo's works is also one of my favorites. Yeah, so those are just some, but we could go on and hours for this, but like those are just some of my favorite choral works and choral composers. Number 7. You know what, to be honest, it was 2006 for the Florilege Vocal de Tour in Tour France. We were in a very cramped schedule, so we've been traveling a lot for like weeks already, leading towards the competition. And ang dami-dami mga choirs na kasama, and ang dami-dami categories na sinalihan. I believe 5 categories, like I think 2 qualifying, 2 finals, and then 1 madrigal category. It was both mentally and physically challenging, because since we've been touring and we've been going through like traveling from city to city, doing concerts right and left, we wanted to, like, you know, as much as possible be the healthiest and be on top shape form, diba, sa mga competitions na ito. And ang dami mga choirs mga kasali, and they're all fantastic choirs. So just like the demand from like the vocal demand and just like the mental demand is just like very challenging. And that was more special than hard and difficult. Very challenging, and you know, as artists, we're always welcome to like these challenges. And isa to sa mga pinakamahirap, I guess, na competitions na nasalihan ko. And then I guess the next one is 2004 Sturivia, because it was my first time. I'm a newbie. I didn't know what to do. I was like 17, 18, and I probably have cried a lot leading towards the competition, but it was also like one of the most challenging competitions. And of course, the 2007 European Grand Prix in Italy. Yeah, so I guess all three of them are in equal footing. So yeah, they're all very special. They're all very difficult, very challenging. But I personally just enjoyed all of them. All right, next 8. You know, I'm a choir nerd too. I love listening to choirs. I love going to concerts. I love going to choir concerts, vocal concerts. I enjoy them all. So, in general, aside from the ones that I mentioned in question number 1, yeah, I love watching concerts, and I love watching operas and musical theater, listening to a lot of like music from different genres. From Mahler to Mariah Carey, you know, from like Regine. I'm a huge fan of Regine. And I'm proud of it. And yeah, so in general, I just like love listening to more music and just like educating myself and learning more about music in different genres and like by different artists. It's quite fascinating to just like discover a lot more. And you know, just like forever exploration of like the art. Number 9. Right. Well, I was fortunate enough to have teachers who helped me a lot, and I still currently study with a couple of these teachers and coaches. So one big advice is actually just find a teacher, find somebody who will listen to you, find somebody who you trust, who will give you an advice, who will guide you through all the learning processes of like being an all-around musician. I think it's very important to seek help. Help is something that I always ask for, seek for, because you know, like I don't know a lot of things, and it's very nice to have somebody to like guide me through all these, like through my career. And so ask for teachers, find teachers, look for teachers, seek help. I'm here. I'm online if you want to talk to me, just like chat about singing, to chat about stuff, to chat about repertoire. I'm also obsessed in like searching and researching repertoire. And in regards to research, continue searching and researching and educating yourself. I guess there is a treasury of knowledge available for free online, and there's like a lot of collaborations out there, and I enjoy watching all of them. Just like a lot of these like amazing artists collaborating from like all the corners of the world. I'm amazed by it, and through watching all these, I learn a lot. So continue researching and learning, and you know, just like trying to discover all these. Yeah, but it starts from yourself. Just like find what you love, find what specializes you, like from your inspirations, ask help, and that's my biggest advice. And then from that point, you can, you know, move forward and go to the next level of your career, or go to the next level of what you want to do with your singing. Okay, number 10. Oh my god, 10 questions now. Request if I could sing a couple of lines from the French version of My Way, which was actually the original version to Frank Sinatra's My Way, written by Claude Francois and Jacques Rivaux. This was first introduced to me in 2007 by a dear friend and a huge mad supporter, then Philippine diplomat in Paris, France, Sir Enrico, and it has a totally different text, totally different meaning, same tune, same melody though. And yeah, you probably have seen my performance in 2015 on YouTube at Joshua Bell's residence in New York City. That piece, by the way, was arranged by Sandra Choi, also an alumnus of the Madrigal Singers. So anyway, so here's a couple of here's a couple of lines from Comme d'habitude, and I have to pull up the text because it's been a while, but yeah. Je me lève et je te bouscule, tu ne te réveilles pas comme d'habitude. Sur toi, je remonte le drap, je peux que te froid, comme d'habitude. Ma main caresse tes cheveux, presque malgré moi, comme d'habitude. Mais toi, tu me toléreras comme d'habitude. Thank you, Ian, and thank you to the Choir Fan Vlog. Stay safe, healthy, and hope to see you guys again soon.